Have you spent hours and hours in the gym doing mind-numbing ab workouts or follow-along core workouts, but you can never seem to get your abs to pop? Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but you've been wasting your time. Well, the good news is we're gonna fix that today, and then you'll never have to waste another workout doing 17 crunch variations again. Here's the 5 biggest mistakes that I see when trying to get abs. P.S. I've made a few of these myself as well. I'm also gonna include the exercise reps and sets that I recommend doing to fix this. Now, I'm sure you've heard this one before. Abs are made in the kitchen. Now that is partly true, but we all have abdominal muscles just like we all have biceps, so I highly do recommend that you train them, just not the way you've been doing it. Which is mistake number 1, doing a whole workout for abs. If you spend 45 minutes just training your abs, well, you got a problem. You should be able to effectively train your abs in 10 to 15 minutes tops, maybe 20-ish if you're going pretty ham. I would highly recommend putting 1 to 3 ab movements either at the start or the end of your workouts. This is gonna be 100 times more effective and more time efficient than going to the gym just to do a full ab workout. And like every other muscle group, hitting your abs 2 to 3 times per week should be more than enough. If you can directly train your abs every single day, you're probably not training them hard enough. And this leads me to mistake number 2, doing the same reps for abs over and over and over. The amount of times I've heard, yeah bro, I do 50 sit-ups a day. That's like saying I've been killing 5 kilos for the last year, but my biceps just aren't developing. The abs are just like any other muscle group and should be treated the same. You need to apply progressive overload in order for them to develop. Now this means more weight, more reps, or more sets over time. So if you're currently doing 20 crunches for abs, then try to do 30. And once you get to 30, add some weight. Now, of course, there are a ton of great ab exercises out there, but until you're nailing all the basic tips that we're going through in this video today, I would highly recommend keeping it nice and simple. And honestly, if you do 2 to 3 of them really, really well, that's all you need. My first go-to movement is gonna be something where we crunch from the top down. So this could be a basic crunch, it could be a decline weighted sit-up. My personal favorite is a simple cable ab crunch. The reason I love these so much is because you get a really strong contraction, and it's very easy to progressively overload. Simply just go up in weight, add more reps, etc. My second personal favorite is gonna be something where you're pulling from the bottom up. So what I mean by that is like a decline leg raise is probably the best example. So on here, we've done crunching down. Now we're gonna start from the bottom of the abs and pull up. This is not the ideal bench for this, by the way. So what you want to think about on this is sucking in and then simply squeezing from your belly button up towards your rib cage. Same as cable ab crunch, I like sets of 10 to 20. Sorry, reps of 10 to 20 and sets about 2 to 5. And then movement number 3, if you've got the time and you really want to focus on that core, I would add it in a stabilization movement. For me, this is probably going to be a hollow body hold. Sets of 2 to 5 again, and anywhere from say 30 all the way up to 60 seconds. Now this is a very hard movement, but it's good because you can regress it and progress it as you get stronger. Now personally, I don't do a whole bunch of these because you have to keep in mind, whenever you're doing those heavy compound lifts, your core is going to be stabilizing the entire time anyway, so it does get worked with those movements as well. Now you can do all the crunches and progressive overload in the world, but if you're making this next mistake, none of it will matter. Mistake number 3 is not having enough muscle on your entire body. If you're only training abs and you're not putting 95% of that focus into training your entire body, you're fucking yourself over. That's like going to Macca's and ordering a Big Mac meal and just having the drink. Because the more muscle mass you have on your entire body, generally speaking, the easier it is going to be for you to get abs and for your abs to be visible. This is because the more muscle mass you have on your entire body, the more calories your body burns on a daily basis, and this can make it easier to stay lean. Now don't get me wrong, you still got to be on the ball and you can't let yourself turn into a Dorito eating couch sloth, but it is a little bit easier. The other reason is the more muscle mass you have, the easier it is to see your abs at a higher body fat percentage. Ever wonder why guys like Eddie Hall have higher body fat but they still can see their abs? Well, that's simply because they just have so much muscle. Mistake number 4, underestimating how long it may take you to get abs. Unless you're literally at the end of your fat loss phase and you're getting to a very low body fat, you cannot get abs in 10 days or 2 weeks. Now I understand why people think this, because there's videos like this that get an insane amount of views, but it's very important that you don't set yourself up for failure or disappointment. I promise that no amount of crunches, fat blasting ab workouts, or 10-minute abs, YouTube videos will get you there faster. Depending on your starting point and your diet approach will dictate how long it's going to take you to get abs. Could be 12 weeks, could be 24 weeks, could be 12 months. And this leads us to mistake 5, having too much body fat. This is by far the most common mistake I see when it comes to getting abs. Like I said at the start, we all have abdominal muscles, but if you have too much body fat covering them, then you'll never be able to see your abs. And to lose this body fat, you simply just need to be in a calorie deficit, aka burning more calories than you're consuming on a daily basis. And of course, like everything with fitness, there are a ton of different ways to do this, but it's just very important that you find an approach that you can adhere to. Now we won't dive into all that in this video, but if you want a complete breakdown of how to lose the body fat to show the abs and how to build an aesthetic body all round, including the abs, highly recommend you check out this video here.